Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. The race for Kiambu gubernatorial seat is really becoming hot. And the candidates that have really shown interest to seek that seat are Tujibebe Party leader William Kabogo, Moses Kuria with Chama cha Kazi, Kimani wa Matangi with UDA, and also Wainaina with UDA. But in what I'm going to show you here, it seems there is another MP that is also seeking that seat. And the entrance of the new MP into the Kiambu gubernatorial race is what is sidelining or what is isolating Moses Kuria. Because there is another war of words that have emerged between Moses Kuria and Kimani Ichungwa. William Ruto, when Moses Kuria held his Thanksgiving rally in Thika, he mentioned that he even wanted Ndindi Nyoro to be the MC of that event, and he had invited some UDA MPs from Central Kenya. But William Ruto called them and asked them not to attend the Moses Kuria's rally. Then all went through, and when William Ruto was away, Moses Kuria made a statement that he was in talks with Kenya Kwanza and other 21 parties to join and to make one big coalition. Interestingly, I analyzed here that Bahati MP Kimani Ngunjiri, while appearing in a punchline show in K24, dismissed Moses Kuria in saying that they did not have and they were not privy to any negotiation between UDA and Kenya Kwanza, between UDA and Chama cha Kazi. Now, yesterday, or rather this weekend, the Kenya Kwanza team are supposed to hold a rally in Kiambu. And as something that never happens, something that happens is there is always a host. The last time William Ruto was in Kiambu, Deputy President William Ruto was in Kiambu, he visited Lari and Kikuyu, Githunguri, and he was hosted by Kimani, Honorable Kimani Ichungwa. Now today, Honorable Kimani Ichungwa have served Moses Kuria a bile. And he has told Moses Kuria straight in his face that if he wants to join UDA, then he must do the necessary. That is one. And I'll tell you the necessary. And secondly, even if he joins the Kenya Kwanza, he should not expect anything much. First, because he's a latecomer and he must sit at the backbench. What is the expected that Kimani Ichungwa is telling Moses Kuria? The expected is this, that if he's going to join Kenya Kwanza, he must fold that party and join, but not join with Chama cha Kazi. This is the same reason why Moses Kuria left the UDA, because initially his intention was to go and form Chama cha Kazi, then after forming Chama cha Kazi, come back and work with UDA or work with Kenya Kwanza as a party leader of Chama cha Kazi. Now, Kimani Ichungwa is allaying fears, and these are not things that are new. In my analysis, I have always mentioned that this, if you remember, you check that video, I mentioned why, the last analysis I did, I mentioned why Moses Kuria will not even join the Kenya Kwanza. Now Kimani Ichungwa is saying that Moses Kuria is just going to Kenya Kwanza to sell party tickets to Chama cha Kazi. They have already known that the competition for UDA in Central Kenya will be Chama cha Kazi. So Kimani Ichungwa have actually told Moses Kuria that he's just joining Kenya Kwanza so that he can benefit from party tickets after during the party nominations. And that is it. The fallout, people who will maybe feel discontent with the UDA will then go to Chama cha Kazi, then he can now sell to them party tickets. And that is what he is saying. I want to believe that this is not a message just from Kimani Ichungwa. This is a direct message from William now Deputy President, none other than William Samoei Ruto. And it is a welcome call. I will not fear to mention that I think the most confused and undecided politician and a political broker is Moses Kuria. He's a conman in the politics because he's that opportunistic politician. He always wants to get there and cause some confusions, benefit and go. And I mentioned, and actually Kimani Ichungwa is telling him that he's only coming in the Kenya Kwanza to cause confusion. The same reason why he left is the same reason why he cannot join. He's out to sell the party tickets through Chama cha Kazi in case there will be a fallout in the Kenya Kwanza. Now, what this reveals is this, that Moses Kuria had been trying to quote Deputy President at a personal level alone. I think he's been talking with Deputy President because, according to him, he actually puts himself in the stature of Deputy President, which is a very long illusion. But again, the DP sees Moses Kuria in the class of Kimani Ichungwa and the Ndindi Nyoros. But then he engages Deputy President directly, and what the DP has done is now to send the leaders, the Kimani Ichungwa, the Kimani Ngunjiri, now to talk to him and tell him the verdict. In fact, this verdict did not come from Kimani Ichungwa. This is a verdict directly from Deputy President. And this is a risk that the DP cannot do. The hardliners around him, that is the Kimani Ichungwa, the Alice Wahome, the Ndini Nyoros, these are the hardliners against Moses Kuria. And they are the majority. If he welcomes Moses Kuria today in UDA against the wish of those fellas, then he's going to already to bring a fallout. And he doesn't want a fallout from the Central Kenya Team caucus. So that is exactly what is happening at the UDA. Now, Moses Kuria have responded to those claims, these reports, and I just saw it. They saying, I have read the unwanted attacks on my colleague, on me by my colleague Kimani MP Kimani Ichungwa, appearing in today's Daily Nation with shock and dismay. Mr. Ichungwa seems to have a lot of bile towards me for choosing to belong to Chama cha Kazi and not the UDA party. This is my democratic right that will not be taken away by Ichungwa's juvenile attacks. Now, let me tell you, what is happening is this. Moses Kuria wanted to be part of the UDA rally in Kiambu. And actually his interest in the Kenya Kwanza is just to up his stakes to win the Kiambu gubernatorial seat. And that is something that the DP team have seen. So what they have actually done is, I actually read, if I went through the comment section, and there is a blogger of UDA that I normally follow, he has commented there and said that Moses Kuria wanted to be invited in that rally and he was not formally invited. So there was a lot of back and forth conversation, and that is why Kimani Ichungwa responded. But then I also want to feel that Kimani Ichungwa might be eyeing also the Kiambu gubernatorial seat, because that is what makes him sit uncomfortable with Moses Kuria's entry there at an appropriate time, because I have not been seeing him very vibrant campaigning for his Kikuyu parliamentary seat. I might also feel that he might be eyeing the Kiambu gubernatorial seat or the Senate. That could be a probability, and that is what is also causing this friction. Now, I want us to look at these fights. First, can you ask yourself, why do you think the Central Kenya MPs that are around Deputy President are rebelling any other central party joining there? I will do that analysis. But why do you think that is there? Because this rebellion is just to set a precedence. Another implication of this is, if they are turning away Moses Kuria, do you think they can even accept Martha Karua? It's a direct message to all the other Central Kenya parties that they are not welcomed in Kenya Kwanza. Because if you turn away Moses Kuria, then tomorrow you bring in Martha Karua. Moses Kuria sitting outside will now start attacking the party, the reason why he was not set up. And again, the entry to Martha Karua in Kenya Kwanza is Moses Kuria. So one thing that this tells you is these fellas are not going to allow any other party to join there. Forget about even the Martha Karua. They will welcome Jimmy Wanjigi with the Safina because they know it's very inconsequential, and Jimmy Wanjigi does not have the stakes down there. Why do you think they are turning away these parties? Huh? But this infighting, I think the holistic approach in this situation is not to focus on Moses Kuria and Kimani Ichungwa. Because if we focus on that, we are going to have Moses Kuria, Kimani Ichungwa. The other day we had Kimani, Ngujiri, Moses Kuria. The next day we'll have Didi Nyoro, Moses Kuria. It will all be there. But I think the bigger picture here is this rejection of other small parties from central Kenya joining the UDA. I want to say small parties. Why this? What does this rejection posit to Ruto's support there? And I want to confine myself to local politics. Huh? This rejection of those central Kenya parties to join there, first, it's going to cost William Ruto the support there. It's going to reduce his support, and this is what is going to happen. There are two things. One, there are direct nominations. Two, they are popular failures. There is a place where they might feel they want to give direct nomination, and there is a candidate that is also seeking that seat. That candidate will go to the ballot. Two, they are popular failures. Popular failures is a popular candidate. He was around deputy president, but when they went to nomination, he lost in the nomination. So when that candidate loses, that candidate still wants to go to the ballot. What is going to happen is this. He is going to seek with another party. He might go to Moses Kuria or even the Jubilee Party. Then William Ruto will find himself with a very popular candidate eyeing a seat and another popular candidate eyeing a seat, but now with the Azimio team or with the Moses Kuria team. That is going to cost him because this candidate that is outside Kenya Kwanza will be at liberty to make two choices. One is to say support Raila Odinga, or two is to say give me my vote, but you can choose whoever you want. That is what Purity Ngirishi did when she defected from UDA. Now that fallout will work against him, and in the long run, the UDA team are going to have a big loss. Secondly, with Moses Kuria being locked out of UDA, and the UDA must, and they are going to field a gubernatorial candidate, then what this means is this, that Moses Kuria has his Chama cha Kazi, the UDA have their candidate, James Nyoro, who is an Azimio candidate, will have a very good chance if he becomes very strategic to recapture that seat. I know I have been following out, and my good friend Buru will tell you that Nyoro is not very still charismatic compared to this other candidates. But because of this division, remember even Gitau, Kabogo is also here. So with Kabogo, Nyoro, then Moses Kuria is out, and this all is going to work in favor of another candidate, a very unlikely candidate here, and most unlikely candidate to win that seat there is Nyoro. So I also want to feel that is going to be there. Two, emergence of independent candidates. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, if there is something that gives these giant political parties headache is emergence of independent candidates. And this time round, I foresee there are going to be many independent candidates that are going to win seats because of these two giant parties. Now, these independent candidates are most likely to leave the presidential wide open because the independent candidate wants support from both the Kenya Kwanza, from both the Azimio. Now, with that, if they're independent and Azimio is more accommodative, they are most likely to get votes and most likely to support an Azimio candidate for the presidential ballot. In fact, if someone is independent and he has walked away from UDA, he is most likely to support the Azimio candidate or in this case Raila Odinga, for the presidential ballot, but still sits in the middle because he still wants to benefit from the two. So that is also something that is very tactical for the DP Ruto. Now, 3 is monopoly of UDA will lead to its death. The monopoly that they want the UDA to enjoy in central Kenya is, I want to borrow what Moses Kuria, what Martha Karua is saying, that if there is a monopoly of political parties, it's actually going to lead to its death. Because again, they will feel like they're so entitled, and it will be a one-stop shop. That is something that I want to agree with Martha Karua that it's not going to work. All in all, guys, Moses Kuria has been thrown under the bus. Ken Oka seems to be joining Azimio. So there are only 2 factions. You either belong to Azimio or you belong to Kenya Kwanza. And Kenya Kwanza have already chased him away. I don't think, the way he has pronounced himself on Azimio, Uhuru Kenyatta is not busy with Moses Kuria. And not even Raila Odinga is busy with Moses Kuria. In fact, he's a busybody for nothing. Sorry to say, but I think very undecided. Not just saying this tomorrow, that kesho. I don't know. Guys, that's my analysis. I'm heading to Jacaranda. And of course, I'm coming back with the live feed. I think some few clips and tell you what's going on as we plan to do that analysis. And remember, Kalonzo Musyoka has joined.